There are sons of Satan masquerading as servants of God. You need to avoid them. The Bible tells us there will be many coming as angels of light, but are servants of Satan. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is of no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. False prophets make prophecies which don't come true, or they entice others to follow a different god, them. They glorify themselves or their organizations instead of Jesus. Example number 1, the false prophet in Revelation. He performs great signs so that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image of the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. Number 2, sorcerers teach another gospel. Simon the sorcerer in Acts 8:20-21. The early ante-Nicene fathers tells us Simon became an enemy of the church and spread a false gospel. He was an early Gnostic who used his sorcery to deceive the masses. Irenaeus, circa 180 CE, writes, Simon the Samaritan, he set himself eagerly to contend against the apostles, in order that he himself might seem to have been a supernatural being. So he applied himself with still greater zeal to the study of magic arts so he could bewilder and overpower multitudes of men. And he taught it was himself who appeared among the Jews as the Son. All sorts of heresies derive their origin from this Simon of Samaria. Number 3, Balaam. This is written about him in 2 Peter 2. These were once followers of Jesus, tasted the gifts and the ways of righteousness, then decided to fall away, lured by riches and self-indulgence. For it would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, having known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered to them. But it has happened to them according to the true proverb, a dog returns to his own vomit, and a sow, having washed, to her wallowing in the mire. Example, Hymenaeus. He shipwrecked his faith and started preaching resurrection, had already passed, stumbling others. Judas. Judas gave up the faith and sided with the religious leaders, sold his master for money. Summary. Never think a person doing signs and wonders is automatically a servant of God. He might be a son of Satan. You will know them by their fruits. Their doctrine is false. They glorify themselves and their organization. They love money and they're into self-indulgence. Always use the scriptures to expose a false prophet. If they don't keep Jesus' words, avoid them.